Hey RVers, Gary Bunzer here, the RV Doctor, along with Dave Helgeson, who's in charge of the Seattle RV Show.
Yes.
Dave, good to see you.
Good to be here.
You are the foremost expert on boondocking, at least in the Northwest that I know of for sure. Your blog is popular. Your seminars are wall to wall with people every single time. Tell me about your specific application of how you manage the resources on a typical RV. You know, everybody thinks that when you own an RV, you have to plug in all these things, the sewer hose, the water hose. You know, you have to plug in everywhere, but not true with boondocking.
Not true with boondocking, and just with a few simple modifications, you can be out boondocking quite quickly. You know, obviously, as we touched upon, is you have to have power, which comes from your batteries, and typical RVs will maybe only come with one house battery. It's very easy to upgrade them to two. Most have room to put a second battery in there, get a decent deep cycle type battery. If you're going to get serious, you get like a gel battery, or some people go into lithium now with the technology.
Sure.
So power is, you're going to have a way to recharge it, so it depends how long you're going to stay out. There's solar, which is growing in leaps and bounds. We have people that show they're experts in solar. They can talk to people about it. There's wind power, and a lot of people just carry a generator. And as long as you have a good converter system on board that recharges at a fairly high amperage rate, that's all you need. In our example, we carry a 1,000-watt Honda. Our converter will charge upwards of 50 amps per hour. So basically, a half-an-hour runtime will put 20 or so amps back into the battery. And that's cold weather camping, you'll use that much a night. You know, if you're out where it's mild, you won't use 20 amps at all. You can watch TV.
And basically, you do have to conserve. There is a sense of conservation about
absolutely. So conserving, first thing you want to do is put LED lights in place of the incandescent lights that come in the tank.
Good thinking.
That conserves a ton of power there. You know, furnace run time is going to be fairly critical. There are ways around that. You know, obviously you can just dress warmer or put heavier banks of bed. But catalytic heaters are one option. They don't pull the 12 volts down and use the propane to heat the rig. Yeah, so there's definitely ways to conserve. And same thing with water. You want to conserve your water. You don't want to be running the water in your bath sink while you're brushing your teeth and let 2 gallons go down.
Right.
We can do it with
learn
a
to
cup
take
of
what
water.
I call Navy showers. Right?
Yes, Navy showers where you get wet, soap up, rinse off. And you can get very efficient at that. For example, when my wife and I are boondocking for long periods of time, we've got it down and we can survive about 6 gallons a day for the two of us. And we shower every day.
No kidding.
We have a 60-gallon fresh water tank, so we can be out about 10 days before we've got to go seek fresh water.
Well, thank you, first of all, for showering every day. But
Yes.
number two, I'm really surprised at how long the two of you can conserve that much
Yeah,
water.
and there's people, just take like a wash rag bath and be out even longer than that. And it all depends. You know what your travel schedule is. You know how long you might be staying where you're going to pick up fresh water. You just time that out.
Yeah, exactly. My most frequent memory of boondocking days was growing up in Florida with my dad. We had a little pickup camper that we rebuilt literally from scratch because the insurance company had totaled it. So we took it over, rebuilt it, and we would go camping in that thing down in the Everglades every year. We'd go hunting. And it was a great lifestyle to just be able to be out in the middle of nowhere, literally in the Everglades. And it was nice having a high pickup off the floor or off the floor of the forest or the Everglades because of the rattlesnakes and everything else. But that was one of my most favorite memories there, and I'm sure you have a lot that you could spell out about as well. But the conservation issue, the fact that you don't have to plug in, the technology today with, like you say, LEDs, the efficiency of today's appliances, believe it or not. We use far less propane gas in the appliances that we have today than what we did, say, 10, 15, 20 years ago. The appliances in RVs even evolved from the mobile home industry with these huge giant furnaces, floor to ceiling furnaces. Now they're in a little area about 18 inches square at the most. So far more efficiency, water capacity. Do you take fresh water, bottled water with you, or do you just simply fill the fresh water?
That's a great question. We typically will take bottled water with us and drink from that. Tea water, something like that will come out of the tap. But a couple cases of fresh water, one thrown in the truck. When you're away from the RV, too, you're not pumping water that you might use, fill a water bottle, take with you that. But if you have a pre-filled water bottle.
So 6 days, nonstop RVing out in the middle of nowhere.
And then to give you an example, this summer we took some friends. We did a 3-week trip. We were out for 22 days, never hooked up once.
There you go.
Dry camped every night.
There you go, folks. A healthy battery bank, a way to keep it charged, solar apparatus perhaps, the propane you need to conserve a little bit, and of course your fresh water, and obviously let people know where you're going to be when you're out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a whole other subject.
Which we don't have time for. Thanks again for being here, Dave.
Welcome.
There you have it, folks. The RVing expert on boondocking, Dave Helgeson.